This episode of Techzilla is sponsored by Bex, Domain.com, and Gobi, global mobile internet powered by Qualcomm. Coming up on today's show, the Modbook. You asked for a review, we got one for you. Multiple monitors made easy, adding headphones to your console so you don't wake up everybody in the house, and quite a bit more. So grab a slice of pizza and a napkin, get yourself all comfy, because Techzilla starts now. Welcome to Techzilla. I'm Patrick Norton.
I'm Veronica Belmont.
iTunes 8, new Nanos, iPhone software update, flashy Apple announcement this morning, big Steve Jobs presentation. Does anybody care?
I think people care. I mean, I don't know how much they're caring. I don't know. It's kind of like, yet to be seen, I guess. But wow, there was a lot of laughter and no sympathy over the new 250 gigabyte Comcast cap.
Yeah,
we heard from all over the place. People were like, wah, wah.
Yeah, Australia, New Zealand, Belgium, quite a few other locations outside of the United States. Apparently, most of the world is stuck paying like twice what we do, $120 a month US, for a piddling 50 or 60 gigabyte cap at most.
Right, but iTunes 8 is out, like we mentioned.
New browsing options, Genius auto creates playlists.
Stuff. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, the Genius sidebar that's like...
You can turn it off.
I know, which is good.
You don't need to have it.
But for some people, they're going to be like, now I can find everything.
Some of the suggestions they made for some of my music was pretty good.
It was
pretty decent.
For the automatic playlists or for the purchases from iTunes?
As of this recording, I have not yet tried the automatic playlist, but the recommendations for the iTunes Genius stuff.
Because it was giving you like the entire catalog of that
Well,
artist.
it was telling me stuff that I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I can see why you would recommend that.
Fat Records, the entire...
I already had that, of course, but
You're so hip. And there was the new Nano.
I like the new Nano. Well... So here's the thing. It does look like the old Nanos in a way. Right. The old Nanos. It's just so thin. It literally disappears when you turn it to the side.
It's a little creepy.
Not
actually.
literally. That would be an overstatement.
It's oval and it has a bigger screen, but it's like the same sort of, if you put it down, footprint as the original two Nanos.
Yeah, no more Fatty Nano. Fatty Nano is gone, the way of the Dodo.
Apparently sales were off.
I liked those. I thought they were cute. I think a lot of, this is going to sound totally sexist or whatever, but I think for some reason a lot of girls really like the Fatty Nano. I don't know why. I don't know why. But all my friends who were girls were like, oh, it's so cute. I love it.
Okay. It had a better screen than the original Nanos.
The new ones kind of look like a Zune a little bit.
The new ones have sick battery life.
Well, I guess.
24 hours of music, they're claiming. 24 hours
and 4 hours of video. 4 hours of video is kind of like,
As the screen gets bigger, the battery life goes through the floor.
Yeah, I suppose. It's got
networking.
That's what I was going to say. Networking is okay. What's wrong with networking?
Are you ever going to buy anything? I guess you can use it to sync as soon as you walk in your house. That's a good thing.
Go. It starts at $149 for the 8 gigabyte.
And more importantly...
There's going to be a 16 though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm already onto the whole iPhone 2.1.
Oh. I guess.
Yeah,
Speed over backing up. I mean, that's obvious. They had to do that, or else people were going to go over there and wring their necks.
Improving battery life, stopping application crashes, and a host of bug fixes. Steve says it's going to make everything all better.
I guess.
We'll be the judges of that. More importantly, NBC is returning to the iTunes store so I can finally actually get to see the second season of 30 Rock in its entirety without waiting around Hulu for things to randomly pop up. Either that or maybe it's just the last time I checked
that I got to
Hulu.
catch up on. A lot of shows.
Now on $2.99 for HD versions of TV shows, $1.99 for SD versions, and at this point, the non-Apple portion of the audience is wailing.
They're like, stop the talking about the apples and the thing. So I think we should probably get to some work. We've been yammering for quite some time now. People are watching the show and they want some answers.
Okay.
They want some answers, damn it!
Speaking of answers.
Yes, we received a few dozen responses to answers we gave on last week's question about burning in hard drives.
Pretty much all of them said, hey, why did you recommend SpinRite 6? Well, because I think of it as a disk tool of a different stripe, I guess. So on behalf of a very vocal group in the Techzilla audience, consider SpinRite 6 for burning in your next new hard drive on a PC. It was designed to deal with sector problems, and it's most commonly used for hard drive repair and data recovery, but quite a few of you pointed at new hard drives and haven't analyzed the heck out of them before you trust them with your data.
That's a good idea.
It is an interesting idea.
Yeah.
It's got potential. SpinRite, amazing tool. It is an $80 tool, so you know, you may just want to copy things back and forth a couple times. That would be the cheap version of that.
Just to check, just to make sure everything's.
I gotta say, I've never burned in a hard
set.
drive, and if I've had like 2 hard drives die in the last 10 years. One of them was because of an electrical accident we won't speak of. The other one involved being dropped. Not by me.
That wasn't baby drool on that one.
No.
Was it?
No, baby drool only kills iPhones.
Oh, good to know. That is the iPhone's kryptonite, people. Baby drool. In case you were wondering.
Remember, I drilled out
and drilling into them. And banging them on counters.
No, the banging on the counters actually. Oh, where is it? Here it is.
That actually fixes them.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm resetting the accelerometer.
Anyhow, we want to take some time now to thank one of the sponsors of the show, Beck's. I think I need one right now. Oktoberfest. Beck's is the #1 German export beer, so naturally it's the beer of choice during the month of October. This fall, Beck's wants to give you the opportunity to win a trip to Germany as part of its Oktoberfest celebration. That's right, the Bavarian Alps, Munich, the nightlife of Berlin, the mighty Rhine, the history, the people, the food. If you've never experienced Germany, well, you just haven't completely lived. So register for a chance to win a 1-week trip to Germany, courtesy of Beck's. Log on to becksbeer.com for full details.
Welcome to this week's Freebie Download Pick, a free program that we find useful, fun, or incredibly interesting. This week's pick, TeraCopy. This suggestion was sent in to us by Greg, who says TeraCopy is a great program that speeds up the copying of files on Windows. It's perfect for moving music to an external drive. Very cool, Greg. Now, if you're a Windows user, then you've probably had this pain of copying files from one folder to another, taking forever. Now, depending on how many files you transfer and their size, it could take several minutes or several hours. With TeraCopy, files will be copied at the maximum speed possible with, quote, dynamically adjusted buffers to reduce seek times and asynchronous copy to speed up file transfers between 2 physical hard drives, unquote. Just launch the app and you'll be presented with a dialog box. You can then drag and drop files in Explorer with the left mouse button or use copy and paste commands, or you can drag the selected files to the destination window with the right mouse button and choose TeraCopy here or TeraMove here. Alternately, TeraCopy also includes shell extensions to explore if you enjoy the context menu lifestyle to move and copy files. While TeraCopy might seem kind of unnecessary, well, when you need to move hundreds or thousands of files or tens of thousands of files like your MP3 collection, you'll be happy to have this utility to speed things along and save you an hour or two of downtime while your machine is busy copying files from one place to another. So a big thumbs up to Greg for sending us this week's freebie download of the week, TeraCopy. I think it's time we gave some help to those in need. Yin?
Yes, because we wouldn't have a job otherwise, would we? Ever since we mentioned it a while back, more than a few of you have been clamoring for a review of Axioio Modbook, the MacBook that's been converted to work like a tablet PC. Like this email from Demetrius. He writes, I would love to see what you have to say about the Modbook, the pros and cons, and what practical applications people have for this. Demetrius.
Well, like Veronica said, Axioio Modbook is a MacBook running Leopard that's been physically modified with Wacom pen-enabled digitizer technology. It's also got a Surfstar 3 GPS module. I mentioned Surfstar 3 because it's a really fast, really good, really strong GPS device. Chemically strengthened Axioio Force Glass. I have no idea what that means, but it basically means that the screen's not going to fall apart. And it did some pretty nifty mods to enhance visibility over the regular MacBook screen when you're outdoors. And it's got VESA mounting holes so you can put it on a VESA arm or a car mount. Some nifty metal work. They got the whole magnesium frame on there and some pretty useful software. The pen input works well when it's not driving you nuts. I don't live in a tablet environment, therefore tablets are a learning curve for me. If you're an artist that lives with tablets, you will love this. It's got a click-on keyboard for screen to type. It has handwriting recognition using Apple's Inkwell. It's a Leopard tool that brings gesture recognition to handwriting to Mac apps. I expected not to like it, but it works a lot better than I expected. Not a touchscreen, it requires a pen. You lose the pen, you are in trouble. Typing is slow using the on-screen keyboard. It's great for browsing. It's a fairly burly mod. It feels a little heavy in your hands, but it's manageable. It's great for sitting around browsing the web. It's great for controlling things in your home theater. And I assume artists would be able to use it no problem for drawing. The traditional practical applications for tablets, and you mentioned practical applications, and most of them don't have the stylus sensitivity this machine does, are vertical markets. Big companies trying to replace paper with computerized forms, insurance adjusters, hospitals for nurses and doctors to make rounds, salespeople, stuff like that. Is it practical for a college notebook? Sure, if you're an art major, if you need to take notes or type a lot of papers, you are going to need a keyboard or you will go insane.
Yeah.
Tap, tap, tapping your way through a sentence. Or maybe your handwriting works a lot better than mine. It's probably, well, it's a problem I have with all handwriting recognition tools. My typing looks like a chicken on crankless dragging stuff across the page.
Do you like what I drew? I drew for you.
Aww. Are we BFF?
We are BFF. See, we're not fighting. We were
BFF.
just joking last week, you guys. I mean, gosh.
And me.
Anyhow, people gave me so much crap for that.
People, it's okay.
They're so mean. I would never say horrible things to Patrick. Anyway, yeah, it's not bad, actually. I keep like doing weird things that I don't mean to do. I looked at these a long time ago. I did a video.
There's a learning curve with tablets.
That's true. I did do a video with these guys for Mahalo Daily, though, a while back. I went to their offices and hung out with them and learned how they made the whole thing, and it was really super cool.
Brings me to Dan's question. Is it legal? It's not an Apple design.
No, it is legal, actually. I mean, you've paid for it. You've
Right.
paid for this laptop. It's not like they're going into Apple's warehouses and hacking them and then not telling anyone and selling them. They actually do, if I remember correctly, have permission from Apple
Right.
to sell these and make adjustments to them.
Yeah,
They buy the parts and then they construct them in their own place.
There's a vision of them like ripping apart MacBooks and
Yeah,
putting them back together.
it's pretty brutal. And finally, Jorgen had a question about the screenwriting. He said, could it be a good replacement for a Wacom board when making illustrations? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I always feel like I'm saying
We'll pronounce
wrong.
it both ways. That way one of us will be right. Because
Okay.
I learn it and then
Yeah.
I use
And
the
then I
other
hear
one
someone
anyway.
else say it a different way.
In any case, it kind of is a Wacom board. It uses Wacom technology, so I don't see why artists wouldn't get all stoked about it. 512 levels of pen pressure sensitivity, 20x display resolution, so it's pretty accurate for your drawing. It's fast, 133 position updates per second, so it works pretty much like a regular tablet. That said, at $2,239 for the 2.1 gigahertz Core 2 Duo model with a single gigabyte of memory, I don't know if it's an economical replacement for a Wacom tablet unless you need a whole new computer to go along with it. A 10-inch Wacom Cintiq with a built-in LCD is only $1,000, and that is a top-of-the-line tablet last I
Yeah, dude,
checked.
this is a heavy puppy.
Yeah.
This is a heavy little baby to carry around for a while, and you would know.
It's burly.
Compared to yours, to your child,
To
how
my
is this in
child.
comparison?
My child's like pushing 22 pounds now, so this is a lot more reasonable.
Oh, it's more reasonable. Okay.
Yeah, but it's, I
It
mean,
doesn't get colicky or crying. It's a win-win, really. I'm just kidding. Give me this thing.
well, the baby did wake up at 1:15, 2:15, and 3:15 last night, so.
We'll put some caffeine in you, and we'll take another
Yes.
video email in the meantime. Take it away.
Hey Patrick and Veronica, I know you guys are plenty sick of headphone questions, but I'm hoping you can answer one more for me. I just bought this brand new Westinghouse HD TV, and I have my PlayStation 3 hooked up through an HDMI cable on the back, and then an Xbox 360 hooked up through the component cables. The question is, I'm wondering how I can listen to these two components through a set of headphones. Can't seem to find any headphone jack just on the TV itself, so any amount of help would be appreciated, and I really love the show, and keep up the great work.
So even though Nick went a little over our usual 15 seconds cutoff limit for video questions, you know, that I so diligently tell you to do every week.
Don't make it a habit, people.
I've been thinking about this one for a little while now, so we thought it would be a good one to share with you guys, you know, because it's a pretty good question. He actually...
And we love headphones.
We love headphones, yeah. So he's got the problem, as he mentioned, that he's got the Xbox 360 and the PS3 coming into his TV, and there are a lot of TVs that don't have headphone jacks, and I think it's pretty stupid and lame, frankly.
I think we should point out that neither the Xbox 360 or the PS3 have a headphone jack, which is also stupid and lame.
Touché, sir.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
they don't have headphone jacks, which, like we said, stupid and lame. But that's beside the point. I'm not helping you any. The easy way to fix the problem is to look at your receiver, if you happen to have one, and see if it has a headphone jack. And a lot of them do. I know my Onkyo has one. But I'm guessing that you probably aren't using a receiver since, as your video shows, I believe that the consoles are linking directly into your TV. If this is the case, after all, you can...
If you do, hopefully it's a lighter
sorry, all these
receiver.
grunting and noises are distracting me from the side.
I'm so sorry.
Anyhow, dude, you can use a Y adapter to go from the RCA ports to an 1/8 inch for the headphones, male on the RCA side and female 1/8 inch. You can find Y adapters pretty easily online. I mean, they've got them. Monster has them if you need to buy something from
Don't
Monster.
spend $30 for one of these.
Don't
Buy one
spend
for like $2
$30.
from
Is this
Radio
one?
Shack.
Is this a long one?
Yeah, this is like a 6-foot one.
Okay, good. So this is, male on this side. Is that a female? That's not a female though. You're putting that into your preamp.
Well,
That's another thing you can do. You can add a preamp so that you can actually have the headphones plugged
Here's the thing:
in.
if you run your headphones into the RCA jacks, there may not be enough power coming out of the RCA
Right, they
jacks
might
to
need to
drive
be
the
powered,
headphones,
yeah.
and you're probably not going to have any way to adjust the volume.
That was my next point.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
getting
No, you're
all-
right. You're right, though. See, now we've got a nice little headphone jack there that you can adapt the volume separately, which is important because, like we said, if you're taking that
Yeah.
audio out, you'll have to either turn down the volume all the way on your TV, which would be really irritating every single time to crank it up on the headphone and on the audio out, and
Oh
then
my goodness, yeah.
mute
Well,
it practically on the television.
Yeah, you don't need to buy like a $600, high-end headphone amplifier for this. One of the inexpensive like $20 boosteroo amps will do you great. I mean, the issue is you might have to putter around with your console settings, either routing the audio somewhere other than over the HDMI cable, or maybe just muting your television speakers from playing sound if you're using the analog outputs. In any case, you are going to need volume control in the headphones. A MIDI headphone amp to drive them helps a lot. And then you just turn the TV all the way down and crack up the headphones, unless you're using like a digital output over the HDMI into your television because you like using virtual Dolby, in which case you're going to have to go in and manually reconfigure the analog audio output. So in short, it can be done, it just might be more of a pain in the ass than you want to deal with.
Why can't they just put a headphone jack in the TV?
Or a headphone jack in the consoles.
True. But wouldn't you like just one for your TV, so when you're watching TV at night, you can just, just plug in
Since
your
I
headphones.
basically
It doesn't
have to listen to everything at like 5 out of 100 so I
Yeah.
don't wake up the baby, sure.
I wonder if they have them more often in like those little tiny TVs, like the 14-inch televisions with the VCR player built into them, or the DVD player.
We recommend, Nick,
Just
that you purchase an entirely new television.
buy a new television. Duh.
Yeah.
Solve your problem. Anyhow, if you want to get your 15 seconds of internet fame, send us a video. All you need to do is record yourself in front of a video camera asking a question. No longer than 15 seconds, Nick. I'm looking at you for next time. Load those puppies up to YouTube and email us a link with a video question in the subject line and no attachments. We won't even look at them. It's time now to thank one of our sponsors, Domain.com. Attention Tekzilla fans! Domain.com has an awesome new deal that many of you will be excited about. Have you been jonesing for an iPhone? Well, Domain.com is giving away $500 Apple gift cards to a few lucky Tekzilla fans. And when you purchase a domain, hosting, or any other service, you're automatically entered into a bi-weekly drawing. There's no limit to the number of purchases or entries, so if you register a new domain and transfer some of your existing domains to Domain.com, you'll have a better chance of winning. Plus, Tekzilla fans can use the coupon code TEK1 to save 25% on domain registrations, domain transfers, and hosting. That's domains for under $7. Get over to Domain.com and enter to win a $500 Apple gift card today. See the rules, including the eligibility restrictions, and enter for your chance to win at www.domain.com/Tekzilla. That's www.domain.com/Tekzilla. Remember, Domain.com, it all starts with a great domain. Looks like it's time for another websites we just can't get enough of. A website that we just can't stay away from because it's too useful, too funny, or just too darn irresistible. This week's pick, AngryAlien.com. You won't actually find very many angry aliens here, but what you will find is just as good, we promise. The true stars here are the bunny rabbits as they reenact in 30 seconds some of our favorite movies. The Flash videos are the brainchild of artist Jennifer Scheinman, and she has faithfully put out one bonafide video a month since 2005. From Fight Club to Jaws, Goodfellas to Jurassic Park, the bunnies flex their acting muscles and show impressive range, I have to say. This is actually one of my favorite ways of watching horror films, that I wouldn't be able to tolerate otherwise, like Saw, for example. The rabbits show me all the gory details, but since they're cartoons, well, yeah, I'm a giant baby, leave me alone. The bunnies from Angry Alien are 2-time Webby Award winners, and their clips are also featured on premium channel Stars. Not a bad career for a bunch of wascally wabbits. You can follow the 30-second bunny theater troupe on Twitter at twitter.com/thebunnies, and yes, they do occasionally take requests. This next question comes to us from Bastian in Belgium. He asks, I have a question to increase the amount of screens you can connect to your computer. Is it possible to just add another graphics card to get more connections for screens, or is there maybe a cable with which I can divide a connector to multiple screens? Also, is it possible to control multiple computers with one mouse and keyboard to extend the desktop space that way? Oh boy, okay, where to start?
We can do the last part first.
The last part first?
Right. So
okay.
basically, what you're talking about there, if you have multiple computers, one monitor, one mouse, one keyboard, you're looking for a KBM switch, which is essentially you plug your monitor and your keyboard and your mouse into
Right.
it, and then you plug a whole bunch of computers into that, and you get happy. So KVM switch is the answer to the last part.
That is the answer to the last part, which I have. Did I tell you about my KVM fail? I did. Was that last week that I told you about that? How I bought this damn stupid one?
The sting is still fresh.
I haven't returned it yet. Oh, actually, I think one person offered to buy it. We did talk about that, didn't we?
I like that thought.
All right, Guy. I'll get in
Generous
touch with you
people.
later. Okay, so yeah, most new PCs can support a pair of monitors right out of the box because most new graphics cards have a pair of DVI outs or a DVI and VGA out.
That's pretty common.
So that's handy, so you'll be okay if that's all you're looking to do. But you want more, and you're looking to feed video to more than two, like we said, things start to get a little bit interesting. If your motherboard has AGP slots, or better yet, the more modern PCI Express slots, yep, you can just drop in another GPU. That's probably your cheapest option, especially if you're not looking for 3D gaming support. Also, you can get more than two monitors out of a single AGP or PCI Express card slot, but you generally end up paying a lot more for a specialized card. The market for single boards that feed 3 or more monitors tends to be a big Wall Street trading firms and medical centers and such like that. So that's probably a little too much money for you that you might want to spend. They've got those deep pockets, you know. I'm not making assumptions about your income or anything, but most normal people probably not so much.
Yeah, don't want to pay $600 for a graphics card.
There are other options, or at least there have been since this year's CES.
Yes, that's where a company called DisplayLink announced their new USB to VGA and DVI adapters.
Right.
They're great for notebooks with a single monitor out, or if you don't want to upgrade your motherboard, so you can add a second card and a third monitor. Up to 6, they claim, on a PC. We haven't seen this. I've seen 2 or 3 running, and somewhere in this mess there's a mouse. There are 3 monitors here. Some way I'll make all those reappear. So we'll go to our display settings, and so we've got 3 monitors hooked up. 2 of these are off of the graphics card, or excuse me, 2 of these are off of the graphics card. The third one is the DisplayLink. And basically, right, it's pretty slick. They take information from your GPU and your CPU to process the graphics coming from your operating system. That all gets compressed and fed out over the USB bus. More CPU and USB bandwidth equals less compression. Transferring huge files over USB in a slow processor is not the optimum situation for a DisplayLink adapter. They don't sell the devices directly. They sell their tech to manufacturers. Asus, Lenovo, Geffen, IOGear, Samsung VidTech. VGA adapters are the most common. They start around $60. It works at least up to 1280 by 1024 or 1600 by 1200 depending on the vendor building it. The downside, you can do like video and stuff, so it looks pretty good, right? We're going to drag it over to our DisplayLink monitor over here, and it still looks pretty good, right? So here's our tough comparison. So we got this one's coming off the graphics card, and if I go full screen on it, it still looks pretty good. This is an episode of Hack 5, by the way, unless it's our internet connection that's failing us. And if I go over to the other one, somewhere there's an escape key. And if we go to full screen on the DisplayLink adapter, which is going to be difficult to do without being able to see it, you may
I'll talk
notice.
your way through it.
Yeah, you may notice it is a little herkier, and
Here,
you may
want me to
notice
do
that it
it? Give me
actually.
this.
Yes.
Where'd the mouse go? Here it is. What's happening? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Blink.
Or it may look almost exactly the same. In some
It's not
cases,
too
you'll
bad.
see some
Yeah,
block
it's not too
compression.
bad. That's okay. It's it's not optimal, but so if he wants to get one, how is he going to get one then?
You can buy it actually.
You can just buy it direct.
It's basically like $60 to $70. Like Newegg vendors like that are going to sell the products from Asus or VidTech or whoever it is you're looking at. And there's links to it from the DisplayLink.com website. They'll link all of the vendors out there. So they're claiming 4 for a Mac, although the Mac drivers are in beta, 6 maximum for a PC. It works. If you're doing huge amounts of USB transfers at the same time, it's not so happy. But for the most part, it actually looks pretty good.
I like how you just pick up the monitor and look at it.
Look,
Like,
it's
it's like my tablet PC. What? I
Why
bet
don't we
you
have
ignore
a tablet adapter on that? In any case, who's next in line for some good old-fashioned Texzilla help?
This next question comes to us from Trey, and he writes, I was wondering, what's the difference between a NAS server and vanilla FTP server? I've set up an FTP server on my home network. Would I gain any benefit by shutting down the FTP functionality in favor of a NAS? So NAS, network attached storage,
Yes.
and FTP is file transfer protocol. In the simplest terms, think of a NAS as a hard drive connected to a network. We've talked about that quite a bit, especially when we did the NAS compared to Drobo situation a few episodes ago. So go back and watch that one if you want more info on that. A way for a network to share a common storage device and location. That's pretty much what a NAS is going to do. It makes it easier to back up and backup files specifically. FTP is a network tool and function used to transfer files from, say, your computer up to a web server. So if you have like a web page, if you're using WordPress, if you want to add add-ons,
right.
FTP is a good way to kind of bump up all those files into your website. An FTP server is a PC or server that has functional FTP service up and running, allowing remote users to access or transfer files using the client.
I'm excited. These two things are not mutually exclusive. For
Right.
example, we could set up a file transfer protocol server on a PC here and have it point to my NAS as the location to host files from. And some commercial NAS devices actually have an FTP server built in, so does a free NAS box if you're into the whole open source lifestyle.
Yeah, frankly, it doesn't matter which one you use, though media devices and most average Mac and PC users would probably rather mount a hard drive and be able to click on it and drag and drop files than operate an FTP client when they want to, say, play an MP3 from your media stash or back up a file. So they're
yeah.
for different things.
Yeah.
Different things, pretty much.
But they
can work
together.
happily together. They can.
Yeah, I mean, basically file transfer protocol between servers or servers and clients, and NAS is basically a way to attach storage to your network.
Awesome.
Time now to thank one of our sponsors, Gobi. Gobi gives you the freedom to go anywhere without fear of losing an internet connection. One wireless device built into your notebook that supports both EVDO and WCDMA GSM technology. What are we talking about? The world is your hotspot. With Gobi's multi-mode support, you can get global connectivity without the hassle of extra data cards, dongles, or devices. Less to carrier, fewer support issues, and a whole lot easier to deal with. And it's even better for IT departments because Gobi gives you multiple carriers in one device that supports multiple technologies. Companies can now procure and support a single notebook SKU for every user anywhere in the world. To learn more, check out www.gobianywhere.com/products to find the notebook that's perfect for your mobile access needs. All right, Veronica, time for more tough tech questions. Come on, give us the whole, what's that thing with the furry animal and the head turn?
You want me to snap an animal's neck? What? I don't understand.
No, the
dramatic chipmunk.
That's the one.
You don't want me to kill an animal. Okay. Whew, I was worried that. Like, why would I do that? That would be awful.
Joe sends us an email with a very interesting question that has nothing to do with snapping the necks of small furry creatures. He says, okay, the point of RAM is a temporary cache that is much faster, right? If so, then why do you need RAM in a computer that has an SSD that's a solid state device for storage? Aren't they both just flash memory? Isn't SSD just as fast?
Getting a little ahead of yourself. System or physical RAM is more than just cache for your PC. It's the location where your machine can access, store, and execute data if it needs to run the OS in any of your programs. Whether that program is something small, like say an MP3 player, or larger, like a web browser, you need physical RAM in order for it to run.
Yeah, I mean, this is where your operating system, your applications live when you're using your computer. And let's not get into page files on the hard drives right now because I don't want to confuse anybody. We'll talk about that another time.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, accessing physical RAM or your computer's memory is going to be a lot faster than accessing the memory in an SSD. It's on your main system bus, not out on the SATA bus on the other side of town. It's the difference between having a cheeseburger on a plate in front of you and having to drive out to the nearest In-N-Out burger to get a cheeseburger.
That is a huge difference.
Food metaphors aside, like a solid-state drive, it's a hard drive that skips the magnetic platters for a variation on flash storage technology. Conceivably, it makes the drive a lot more rugged and less prone to data errors from being dropped or jarred because you don't have a head sitting mere microns above the surface of a rotating platter. Now, to turn your question around, ideally, the more RAM for your computer, the better. If your operating system could load everything it needed into physical RAM, it could access the hard drive a lot less and gain more performance since RAM would be much faster because you don't have to do that whole going out to the In-N-Out burger for the cheeseburger. You don't have to wait for data to be streamed from the drive.
Dude, you're making me hungry.
Let's go get a burger.
Okay.
Come on, time for one more question?
No.
Just one more. One more, then a burger.
Fine.
You have a cheeseburger.
Here's a question from John. He wants to know, I have a 22-inch monitor that I use with my PS3. Moving off to college in a few weeks, and I was wondering if there was an easy way to hook up a cable TV to it. The only ports the monitor has is VGA and HDMI. If it's possible to do without a computer, I'd definitely be interested in knowing. Well, that is an interesting one, huh?
Pardon me while I wrestle
like
yet another
Monitor
monitor.
City over here
Yeah, it's
today.
like the festival of monitors. So this is a 24-inch Dell flat panel. It does not have an HDMI input. You actually have an advantage, John, but it does have component video input. So basically, what you care about, and not so much probably with your cable box, But definitely if you have like a Blu-ray player, as whether or not it supports HDCP. If it does, you're golden. Chances are your cable box is not going to be sweating HDCP. It's a copy protection on the HDMI port. But basically, you should be able to plug your HDMI port into that monitor you have and be hunky and dory. Effectively, if you have an HDMI port in your monitor, it is pretending to be a television, and that will simplify your life, or an HD flat panel monitor.
And then you can just switch the inputs and you're good to go,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I'm kind of amazed, like composite input, S video, component video.
Monitors are getting sick.
DVI,
Monitors
yeah.
are pretty awesome now.
Although some of them are still pretty, like, I have a DVI port and a VGA port and I do nothing else. That's still pretty common.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, if you get into the more high-end kind of monitors,
They've got like
can-
memory card readers built into them.
I love it when monitors have card inputs on them. I don't know why. I just think that's like a huge luxury to me.
It is
I'm
pretty
always
swank.
I can never find my cable to connect my. Whoa.
It's okay. It was just
It's
the side.
good. Okay. I can never
good.
find the cable to connect my camera. The USB cable to connect the camera to my computer, or I can never find my stupid card reader. So if it's on the monitor, I don't have to worry about that stuff.
Which is
the
a good
less I
thing.
have to think, the better.
In any case, should be an easy, just plug your HDMI cable in, it should work just fine. For everybody watching, we live on your questions. Email us, techzilla@revision3.com, tech help, product reviews, how-tos. You ask us, we'll do our best to answer it for you.
We need those emails, though.
Yeah, we do.
We need them.
Without
you gotta send them in.
We're nothing.
So don't be shy. Send them in to techzilla@revision3.com.
While we're talking questions, send us your digital camera questions. We're planning to have digital camera expert Lori Grunin from CNET.com back on. We want to collect your best questions for her to answer. You got a question about digital point and shoots, SLRs, camcorders, fire them on into us, techzilla@revision3.com. As always, you can visit our forums, revision3.com/forum. More details are always available at techzilla.com.
Ooh, and as we saw earlier, don't forget to catch Hack 5. That's right, the guys from Hack 5 are now part of Revision 3. They have joined the family.
Yay.
I love sucking people into our nebulous mass of internet video content.
Like Google
It's
taking
like,
over the
whoa.
world. Or Katamari
Anyhow,
Damacy.
like a big Katamari ball. Yeah, we're just rolling
Katamari
over.
ball of video joy.
We'll find you.
Their first episode involving perhaps Wi-Fi pineapples and joyous mayhem and technology started Monday this week. You're going to get another episode every Wednesday at the regular release time. It's going to be Wednesdays, 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific for new episodes of Hack 5. So if you want the latest on hacking everything from your cell phone to your home, check out Hack 5.
Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Until next time, you've been viewing Techzilla.
Want to do some more coloring?
Oh, yes, please.
We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye. See the rules, including eligibility restrictions, to enter. Ooh, my mouth is full of spit. 3, 2. Totally like frothing at the mouth. Gotta get resettled here. 3, 2.
Welcome to Hal's House of Slightly Used Stereo Equipment. We got an incredible set of speakers here.
All right, now we have speed factor.